Young world. So there's a hot topic going on right now with Jay Z, a conversation he had with Kevin Hart. I think it's actually an old conversation from a couple years ago, but it has reemerged. And basically, the topic is they're talking about Jay Z's cousin wanting to borrow or ask for $4,500, and Jay Z's like, "Nah, I ain't giving it to him, or I wouldn't give it to him." My thing is this. I'm saying this specifically because Jay Z's a billionaire. He's worth $2 billion. They're talking about now. I heard a lot of people defending Jay Z for saying he wouldn't give his cousin $4,500, and he's worth $2 billion. That goes to show what kind of people are running around in these streets. The only way that makes sense is if that cousin like did him dirty. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's like a repetitive thing, he keep asking for money over and over and over type of thing, and he ain't trying to do nothing productive with the money. But if you got $2 billion and a cousin of yours who ain't did nothing wrong to you, who ain't been asking you for money over and over and over, and you can't give him $4,500, that is dark and just that's evil. That's devilish, evil, and disgusting. The way I am, if I'm worth $2 billion, every one of my parents, my aunts and uncles, my first cousins, second and probably third cousins, I'm giving them all like $100,000 from the door, right from the door. As long as you ain't never try to do nothing to really harm me, for real, for real. I don't give a damn if you smoke crack. I don't give a damn if you. I don't care what your habit. I don't care what you do. I'm giving you 100 G's from the door. I'm worth $2 billion. 1 billion is a million times 1,000. I'm giving everybody $100,000 in my family from the door. Wouldn't even be a question. But that's just me. And I'm saying if I'm worth 2 billion, I'm not saying if you only got a couple 100,000 or something like that. I'm not saying you're supposed to be giving, because that don't go that far. You know what I'm saying? A couple 100,000 or something, or even like a couple million. You can still hit everybody off, but I won't give everybody like 100,000. I'll probably give everybody a couple thousand at least. You know what I'm saying? But $2 billion, and you got income coming in still, and like you got $2 billion, and that's just all you got to your name. And when that goes out, it's gone. You got $2 billion plus you got money coming. You got multiple streams of income coming in. That's ugly. I see a lot of people defending this, and I think that's just ugly, man. Like, I would even go so far as to say that Jay Z should give D Haven some money, and Jazzo, whoever was around him, people like that. He talking about D Haven for caving. I mean, I don't know what could have happened in the inner mix and stuff that we might not have heard about. But as far as I understand, there's no black and white concrete paperwork saying that D Haven really snitched or really did know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't seen no real concrete stuff as far as that goes. So even if it's just some other stuff or whatever it may be, and at the very, very, very least, let's just say D Haven told her or whatever the case may be. We're saying if you still should even take care of his kids. You know what I'm saying? From what I understand, he's the godfather of D Haven's daughter or son. I think it's his daughter. You should she should be good. She shouldn't have nothing to worry about. His mom shouldn't have nothing to worry about. Anybody around him who's not him, if you want to say he told or whatever, every all his people still that you was around growing up, stuff like that, they should all be taken care of. Even if you don't give him a dime, everybody that you knew around him that was part of your upbringing, you know what I'm saying, part of you getting to where you got to go, they shouldn't need nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's ugly if you can do that, for real, for real. That, to me, a lot of people don't see it like that, but I think that shit is dead wrong, for real, for real. So I'm the type of person, if I reach that kind of success, I'm giving everybody that was close to me something. And anybody who was close to me for a number of years at a point in time in my life, I'm hitting everybody off because I look at the bigger picture. I look at stuff like, maybe if I wasn't in contact with that person 20 years ago or wasn't around them, whatever was going on, maybe I don't end up where I'm at. It's not about the skills you got or whatever the things you can do, the talent. I'm talking about just the path of life you have taken just by certain people being around you. If you was around DeHaven, just randomly say any date, and that date he was like, yo, let's go over here and see these chicks, whatever it could have been. That's still a block, a stone in the path you're walking to get where you got. Had that not happened, maybe you went for somebody else, somewhere, something else, and got killed or got locked up or any old thing. You know what I'm saying? I just look at stuff like that. I look at the bigger picture and stuff to me like that. I just look at life in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like part of wherever you're at is everybody you came in contact with pretty much has a part in where you're at. Everybody you looked at, everybody you heard talk, everybody you bumped into on the street, everybody you've seen on TV, everything. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like everything is part of where you're at. And the people that really spent time around you, like in real life for years, definitely play a part in you being where you're at, whether you realize it or not. You know, even a fiend that you might have been selling, anything. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I look at stuff. That's what's wrong with people. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talking about, oh, I wouldn't do this because that's why people. That's why everybody's so messed up now. Everybody forgets that there was a time when you yourself was on some BS. Everybody forgets that we all at some point, especially if you grew up in the streets, or not even if we all even if it wasn't like no street stuff, even if there's straight up white people that ain't from the streets. When I was in the streets, I always have had more white fiends than black fiends. Believe what I tell you. Where I live at, I didn't have fiends coming from the Poconos, the mountains. You know what I'm saying? So it's not even about being black and poor in that kind of environment. Everybody got people in their family who's liable and probably has messed up or did whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't care what your habit is, what you've been doing, long as you ain't never tried to harm me or nothing like that. As long as it hasn't been a habit, I will give everybody money. But that's just me. Because like I was saying, we all forget that we all was in the mind state at a certain point in time. Maybe we wasn't all doing drugs or nothing like that, but there was a time when you was out here doing dirt, robbing people probably, you know what I'm saying? Playing with guns, that type of stuff. Being degenerate, stealing, lying, you know what I mean? Scamming, swiping. People forget. A lot of people, it's like, for me, I've been up and down a couple times in my life, so I know how that works. A lot of people who only been up for the first time in their life, had a couple dollars, they forget that shit can overturn over in a second. You can go from being good, up, and straight into 1 minute your life can change. You could be right back in the position where the people you're talking about you wouldn't give no money to. You can be right back there in a minute. 1 minute is all it takes. I'm the kind of person, if I got 2 billion, I'm trying to build up everybody around me to be self-sustained, some kind of business, something going. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to at least give it a try at least once with everybody around me. If I got that kind of money to go around, that way I fall off, they're up. You know what I'm saying? There's more people around me that's good. At the very least, I will give everybody money to invest, money they can't even touch or just get paid dividends on. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's multiple things you can do when you got that kind of money. Build everybody an apartment building so they can collect rent off it. You know what I'm saying? There's like so much things you can do. So I'm not feeling that at all. Like for real, I think that's ugly and disgusting. Like I said, unless his cousin at some point tried to harm him or he'd been asking for money over and over and over, you know what I'm saying? But somebody did the math. I didn't do it myself, but I'm going to rely on it. They said $4,500 to a billionaire is like a dime to somebody that got $50,000. Literally. Like really, that's how far have we gone as a people? You know what I'm saying? There's even family members that I don't even like that much. I would still give them money. Still would give it to them. And a bunch of people who's not even blood family, I would give a bunch of people I know money. But that's just how I am, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. Everybody want to feel like, oh, they got money. Oh, you didn't work for. I got the money. You didn't work for it. I did all the work for it. So what? So what? You did the work. You happen to be the one to get blessed that got the package. Now you're so up that you can help everybody else in the blink of an eye. It's not even gonna phase your life a tiny bit for what you can bless somebody else with and change their life. You could change somebody else's life and it won't affect your life at all. You know what I'm saying? And then we sit around talking about white supremacy and all this type of stuff. That's a form of white supremacy. If you sit there and think about it, that's a form of uh, ca- um, capitalism for damn sure. That's definitely what that is. Capitalism at its finest. You know what I'm saying? You can't complain about people who's running the world, who all these billionaires got all this money and don't care if people on the bottom are going to be struggling or barely making it and they still getting richer. That's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? For somebody to be my family and me not to give them $4,500 if I had $2 billion, they would have to have really violated me in a bad way. I ain't even talking no you stole something from me years ago or some petty. I'm talking about you had to try to get me killed or get me locked up type thing or something like that. It had to be something real extreme for me to not give a family member $4,500. I got $2 billion. You deserve for that person to build up so much hatred and turmoil for you to come up with a plan to try to take you down. You know what I'm saying? You deserve that if that's how you roll, for real, for real. But that's my input on it, man. I'm seeing so many people saying the same thing. Oh, he worked for it. They didn't work for it. He expected it. Da, da, da. Man, I'm not trying to hear none of that. For real, for real. I come up in a family where one household, not in my household, my alone, but my dad's side of the family. I've been in houses. I don't even want to single people out, but there's been. You know, I'm not even gonna say certain stuff because it just might sound weird. I ain't trying to put my family out there like that, but we have all been through shit and seen shit and been around shit that we should all have a little bit more understanding for each other. For real, for real. That's all I'm really saying. We should have more understanding for each other. Just the struggles of having to go through life as just a, not to make it racial, but as a black person, some of the struggles you deal with day by day. We know it's easy to get into a negative mind state and to keep just building on it. The next negative thing after the next, more negative stuff, keep going and going to the point where you're just like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna do whatever, you know, and you get wrapped up in that. And we all been there, you know what I'm saying? It's not hard to get back to that. It's real easy for you to for something to happen for you to be back into that mind state. We forget how close that is, you know what I'm saying? We have all been in that mind state and done irresponsible stuff in that kind of mind state. But you wanted somebody to help you if they could. That's for damn sure. You wanted somebody to throw you something if they had something to give you. Or you might mess around and go take it. Degenerate shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I gotta say about that.